2020 Junior World Champion, Nittany Lion Wrestling Club in Titan Mercury.
All right, buckle up, everybody, because today we are diving deep into a hypothetical matchup that, well, it sounds pretty wild on paper.
Yeah, you could say that.
We're talking Olympic gold medalist Jordan Burroughs, you know, the wrestling powerhouse, going up against Steven Seagal, the Aikido action star.
I mean, those are two pretty different worlds right there, right?
Totally, but that's what makes it so interesting. And luckily, the source material we've got really digs into like the actual mechanics of how this fight might go down. Like, how would these two styles actually clash?
Yeah, and it's a popular hypothetical matchup for sure. You know, on one side you have Burroughs. He's known for his explosive athleticism. He's an absolute beast on the wrestling mat. And that double leg takedown, oof.
Legendary, right?
Oh, yeah. Then you have Seagal, known for those kind of like the joint locks, the flowing movements, very Aikido.
Almost like a dance, right?
Yeah, you know, very, very stylized.
And the source we're looking at, they don't really hold back on who they think would win this thing, right?
Yeah.
They're pretty confident that Burroughs would just kind of walk all over Seagal.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're predicting a pretty quick win for Burroughs, and it all comes down to that wrestling background. I mean, they point out that Burroughs has something like a 90% takedown success rate against Olympic-level opponents.
90%.
Yeah, which is, like, think about that. That is crazy. So the source, they argue that, you know, it all comes down to closing the distance, getting in close enough to grapple, and once Burroughs has Seagal on the ground, that's pretty much it.
Makes sense. But couldn't Seagal use his Aikido? I mean, we've seen him in movies. He throws these massive dudes around like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Wouldn't he be able to counter those takedowns?
That's the thing. This thing about Aikido, it often relies on your opponent almost kind of playing along. It's like a dance where both partners know the steps. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Against someone like Burroughs, who's going to be like super aggressive, that cooperation just wouldn't be there. And the source actually brings up a specific Aikido technique called shihonage. Have you heard of it?
I haven't, no.
So it involves using the attacker's momentum against them, but they argue that with Burroughs, he's so explosive, he's so technically sound, it would be really, really difficult to pull that off against him.
Almost like trying to like redirect a train or something.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so I get that. But let's say, for argument's sake, the fight stays on the feet, like no grappling. Would Seagal have any kind of advantage striking?
That's a good question, and it's something that the source brings up too.
They acknowledge his striking background, obviously.
Yeah, but they're a little concerned about his age, you know, and the fact that he hasn't been in a real fight, like a professional fight, in over 20 years. Versus Burroughs, who is like, you know, constantly competing and training at the very top level. So it's hard to say how Seagal's striking would actually hold up against, you know, someone as fast and powerful as Burroughs in his prime.
Okay, so it sounds like even though the source is like pretty heavily in favor of Burroughs, there are still a lot of what ifs, right? Especially when you start thinking about factors beyond just their fighting styles.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like age, or, you know, where the fight actually takes place.
The source mentions, just briefly, that if this fight wasn't in, like, you know, a wrestling ring, let's say it's in an open field or something, maybe Seagal could use his kicking techniques a little bit more, or even, you know, try to run away.
Yeah, good luck with that.
But even then, Burroughs is he's so athletic and so fast, that'll be tough to pull off.
It's kind of crazy how many things there are to think about, even when it's just, you know, a made-up fight. It seems like, you know, the source paints a picture of who's more likely to win based on their styles, but it's still all speculation at the end of the day, right?
For sure, but that's part of the fun, isn't it?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
It really gets you thinking about, like, strategy, about the strengths and weaknesses of different fighting styles, about how, you know, even just a small change in the environment could completely change how the fight goes down.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
So, you know, for everyone listening, we want to hear from you. What other hypothetical matchups would you be interested in? Let us know. And until next time, keep on deep diving, folks.
Keep on diving.